All right. Well, welcome everybody, and thanks for coming to the call. It's been a long time since we all connected. And I did one of these. I kind of stopped doing them back in December, I think, and then now I'm trying to pick it back up again. So I want to thank you all for coming and welcome. Before we start anything, I want to start off with some shares and just some congratulations. There's a couple people who are making great advancements. One, Vicki, you made executive director. So we want to just recognize you made it for 3 months in a row and just received your first consistency bonus, which is a $1,000 bonus. So I think that's always something to be celebrated. It's always such a nice treat to see a $1,000 bonus in our checks, right?
Ooh. Woo!
Yeah.
Way to go, girl!
So absolutely.
Wow, look at all those people.
Congratulations. Oh, hi, Malka. Welcome. I also wanted to congratulate Shelly's not here, so we will skip her. And then for the new stuff, Quentin, we can't see you. Where's your mug?
Yes.
There he is. I want to congratulate Quentin. He's bringing, today he was over the house today with a new coach who's a personal trainer at the gym. So he's just leveraging the three-way connections and using his mentorship. We had Darlene there and the new coach, and we really laser focused on trying to help him figure out where he needs to go in his business. So just wanted to congratulate you on using that third-party credibility and using it well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. And Iman's on the phone. She almost made executive director, so we're excited for her. But we can't see her, so we're all giving you a round of applause. But can't see us. So Malka, welcome back. Was in Israel for a couple of weeks. Was that a beautiful trip for you? You're muted. You're muted.
Bring back.
You were muted. I got you.
Oh my God, I lost the screen. I'm very jet lagged. It was awesome. Thank you.
Good.
How was your trip?
Oh, look at that. Shelly, are you driving? She's on, but looks like she's driving. Is that your granddaughter? Oh,
She's beautiful, Stacy.
she is. She is. Okay, well.
Thank you.
A lot of people jumping on, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the information so I can have you guys off now. I have 22 minutes. It takes so long to say hello to everybody, but it's so good to see everybody. But I promise that this is going to be over at 6. Or, yeah, no matter what. Okay, so remember, Greg Zoom is after this for following that. So let's talk a little bit about the 2 agenda items that I brought up. The first one was the price increase. Is that everybody has seen that?
Yes.
Does everybody know what the price increases are now? Have you looked at it and understand it? And first of all, let's open this up to any questions on the price increase. Any questions about it? No questions. Is everybody comfortable with it? No big deal? Or
Actually, Gary, I haven't seen it. Can you, just on one of the Office in Motion emails? Okay. Bless you.
If you have seen it, is anybody concerned about it at all? Or is everybody okay with it?
No, nobody's okay with it, especially that it is almost $2 per box, which is quite a big sum if you calculate it per order. So if you multiply it by 20 boxes, that's around the $40 extra.
No, it's about...
People don't like it.
I worked out all the numbers. And
let's talk about
$1.30 per box.
It's $1.30 more per box. It's 20 cents, 18 cents per item more.
19 cents per item if without the 10% discount. But yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 2 people are talking at the same time. I don't know if there's an echo.
Sorry,
I couldn't hear the last part. I'm sorry.
It's about, so what it is, it comes out to about 18 and a half cents, almost 19 cents per meal more. Okay. The company has prices in 2 years. So it's not much more than what it was. It's a little bit of an increase. it will add $20 more to their monthly order. Okay. So yes.
Isn't it $2 per box extra?
$1.30 per box.
Oh, $1.30.
$1.30 per box. Yeah. And so it's not overly, let's see, where's my calculator? It's not overly tremendously much more expensive for people. I mean, some people will bucket it, but you know, obviously we have to learn how to handle that, right? We have to learn how are we going to handle when people bucket it, and you have lots of options. If people only have a certain, these are the couple. Well, let me go over the main things that are really good. One is it did go up. Okay, so and also the Optimal Health products, which I don't know if you guys start to use yet. I'm using them a lot now, and we'll talk more about that later. But they're great maintenance bars. They're great for anybody who needs to understand how are they going to eat every 3 hours, right? That's the barrier of eating every 3 hours. And we used to only get paid 70% on them. Now we actually get a full 100%. So it created a lot of confusion, but now we get 100% payout on them, and they're great to use. That's the no artificial flavors, no artificial anything in there. So they're very, very healthy, and they're about 200 calories, super, super healthy, natural, Optimal Health bars. Ideally more for people who are on maintenance or they're very heavy exercisers. You can use these in heavy exercisers, you know, as a replacement. The company's not going to promote that, but let's just understand how nutrition works, right? You as a coach can be very creative in how you structure someone's plan, right? If you understand how that whole thing works. And the idea here is to meet people where they are. And one of that ways of meeting people where they are is understanding that we don't want to make money the barrier, right? And if money's going to be somebody's barrier, well, then we have options, right? We're coaches, and you have to be creative. And as a creative coach, you could say, well, okay, how about you do a 4 and 2? If you can only afford X amount of our food, then you could be responsible for 2 on your own. I can't guarantee you the same results, but you keep them in the game. You see what I mean? You keep them in the game with the client. And you can even go down to the point of 3 and 3. And now 3 and 3, not 3 and 3 maintenance, but 3 and 3 where they make 3 small snacks that are about, or 1 lean and green and then 200 calorie snacks that they figure out if they want to do it that way. So the idea is, again, to realize that the major barrier for people is not being able to eat every 3 hours. That's the biggest barrier, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense for everybody? So the biggest barrier is that people can't eat every 3 hours. And so this just helps them stay in the game. So as a coach, you can get creative with any client to make sure that money's not their problem. Money's not their barrier. 5 and 1's always the best first option, right? Moving forward. But you have that in your back pocket. If they start to say, if money becomes the #1 issue, you know, and you can ask them, if money wasn't a problem, would you still do this program? If they say, yes, I would, you know what I mean? You could still work with them to figure that out. Now, let's see what, I didn't do this math today. 1825 times 20 is 365. So it went from 339 to 365, but they're going to get the discount. So it's really going to be back to about 339, right? Is that about right, David, after you take off 36? Yeah, 329. So now that's on pure 5 and 1. So the people will bucket it, but again, use your judgment on they need less product, then do that, right? If they only spend 300, you can do that. You just got to get more creative. And then the other good side of this is how many times do you get mad when oil prices go up and gas goes up, right? But what do? You've got no choice but to do it. And so people, when they're focused on just price, they're not really focused on their health, you know. And cost is a real issue for a lot of people, so we want to be sensitive to that issue. That's why you meet them where they are and lower their Medifast purchases if you need to. But you also want to make sure people are focused on the right things, right? Like what they're getting, you know, and explain to them that, you know, raw materials went up, and Take Shape for Life says, if you guys haven't read that on Coach Connection, that they will not compromise on quality, right? That's the first thing they said in their press release is, we will not compromise on quality, and raw materials went up. So therefore, we want to keep our high-end integrity-based materials. We have to pay more for it, right? Mm-hmm. So when you preface it that way, if there's any issues, then you should be pretty good. The other bright side of it is, for a lot of us, hey, it's actually a raise for us, right? So if you wanted a raise on how many clients you're currently working with, you just got one. You know, so every time they raise prices, it's a raise for us. So that's obviously a positive for us. Maybe not for our clients, but maybe you'll work harder for them now that you're making more money.
Already work hard.
What's that?
Already work hard trying to, you know, help everybody.
I know. I'm just kidding. But now at least you're going to earn more for your work.
Right.
You know, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So David just sent out the link to it. I have it as well, but I wasn't going to post that graphic. There's also this graphic I want you guys to be familiar with if you wanted to be. It is, I didn't share my screen.
Gary, could you possibly send me those graphics because I'm on the phone? Is there a way to receive them?
There's going to be a recording of this. And you
okay.
can print out the recording and you can see it.
Okay.
Okay. But the graphic is in the company site. Can you guys all see this by any chance?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to go through it to tell you how to do it, but there's a graphic that explains our program versus Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem, Isogenics, and Beachbody.
Gary, I saw that graphic in the email. It's very small and very hard to read.
It is, and I don't know how to get it bigger, to be honest.
They need to send out a bigger one.
Yeah, they probably will. This was just their immediate release.
You know what would be good too is that I believe that the cost of a coach with is it Weight Watchers? Yes, Weight Watchers is like $50, somewhere right around there. And I don't know whether that's every time you talk to them or a month or what, but they do have a pretty significant
Donna, can
cost.
you look into that?
You know that, and add to that MediFast themselves have a signing coach, and I showed it to Gary, of $1,700 to get a coach.
Yeah.
Oh,
with
wow.
your food.
That's through the MediFast clinics. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So we're the best deal in town, right? And
Yeah.
and
Yes.
there's yeah, Stacy.
I have a question about that graphic. It says that it breaks down to $9.78, which really is not accurate.
Well, that's the average order.
I agree. I think that's deceiving to display that to all the people. But that's the price I calculated.
That comes out to about $300
for your first month only.
No, that comes out to about $300. It comes out to about $300, $978. Okay, so really close to $300 at $298.
So they're saying that on average, people are not ordering a full month's worth of food, basically.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
The average order is almost about $300. Have you seen that in your business too? That not everybody's ordering.
Most of my clients order enough to get free shipping.
Right. So
Exactly. That's what I have as well.
right. So
I do have the same thing.
yeah. So it's even less, right? It's even less than the average order. So it's not deceiving. Just say that that's the average price. And the first month they're going to get that discount, and then the next month they might have extra food. You never know what people do, right? A lot of people stock up lots of food. Don't get caught up in that. I wouldn't, at least. Just understand how the price breaks down, and focus on what they want. Focus on helping them get to their goal and not on the price, right? If they need something and they want it bad enough, they're not going to balk too much. And if they do, then you have magic now, right? You could do 4 and 2. You could do other things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But you always just try to keep them engaged. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
is there a way, is there some type of food that everybody's complaining about? Like, for instance, the cheese pretzels, the pizza bites, they taste really bad. Is there a way that we inform the people of modifying them?
Guess what? We have clients who love them.
Yep.
Pizza bites. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have clients who love them.
yeah, the reality is that we don't know what people are going to like, and always hold the posture, Iman, that we have 70 to 80 items, and you're not going to like everything. Let's find out what you do like, and let's get those. Because some people love them, some people hate them.
Uh-huh.
We tell our
It's just that very convenient, those items for the kids at colleges, because they eat at colleges real junk food. So this makes them feeling like I'm not different than anybody else. I had like a Cheetos or something like that, and they don't feel like strange in between their friends. So I always recommend it for the kids at colleges and schools.
Okay, well, we're going to take that off topic because that's a topic that I wasn't going to discuss tonight, is what food. So, Iman, you can bring that up with us on a private time. That would be great. And
Sure.
we'll share with
Sure,
you.
I'm sorry.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so I do have 10 more minutes, guys. So the next part, is everybody cool on the price? And feel good. If you don't, reach out to me. We'll talk further about how to talk about it and how to say things, whatever. Now, the next part that I brought up today, which I'm only now giving it 10 minutes because we only have the time. It's an important, super important topic. It's just how does we move our clients forward, right? And one of the things we know is that there's the client experience on our program. The first month, when you agree, everybody's super excited. Second month, they're still doing okay, right? What about month 3? Do you start to see some fatigue happening with some people? Not everybody. Not everybody, but a lot of them, right? A lot of them, they start getting bored. They start, whatever the reasons are. This is that psychological barrier. They're getting bored now. They want to do something different. And what they're in is what's called an oscillating structure. Some of you have seen it. I'm going to screen share one more time here and show you what an oscillating structure looks like. And can you guys all see this picture?
Mm-hmm.
I can't see everybody, so if you can't see it, say.
No, you could see it.
Okay, good. So the top right here is called intense emotional conflict. So in an oscillating structure, we have a conflict. I'm overweight, and I want to get healthy, right? Or I don't like the way I feel. I don't like the way my clothes look. Or I don't want. I want to feel better. Or I don't want diabetes, right? So that's a conflict that we have. So it moves us to action. And action means we're going to do something about it. So we go on program, we start to get healthy, and now I feel better. Now my clothes are fitting better. I have more energy, right? So my conflict has now subsided, where I don't have the reason to keep going forward because my reason for doing it, I already completed because it was an answer like, I want more energy or I want my clothes to fit better versus, well, let's go through this. The emotional conflict eases and then you have less action, right? And this is called an oscillating pattern. This is the exact thing people go through for yo-yo dieting, right? I want to go on a diet. I want to lose weight. I go to action. I start losing weight, but I don't have those end goals. I don't have those reasons and what it's going to do for me. You know, I don't have some of those anchors to help me keep going. So all of a sudden, I have less emotional action. I achieve my weight loss goal. I stop doing it. I go back to my old ways, and I go back to my old weight. This is the image. Can you guys all see this image? This is the image of an oscillating pattern. It's a rocking chair. We go forward and then we go back. We go forward and then we go back. And it's called, that's the yo-yo pattern. I lose weight and then I gain it back. I lose weight and then I gain it back. I move forward in life and get to a certain point and then I come back. And if we can help people with the oscillating pattern is when we have the best chance at helping them move forward, because that's the psychological barrier they're getting to. They're doing really good. They're doing really good. Now they're getting bored. What do they want to do? They just want to go back and quit. And one of the ways that we do it as coaches is what Dr. A calls the AIM, which is Awaken Intrinsic Motivation, AIM. And the only way to awaken someone's intrinsic motivation is what? Somebody yell it out. You guys are all muted, so you have to unmute yourself and yell out. How do you awaken someone's intrinsic motivation? What do you have to do?
Ask questions.
Who said that? Pamela. Bravo. Bravo. You got to ask questions, right? Now,
Yes.
you've got to ask people questions that help them awaken. And how do you ask questions? You can ask it on the phone. You can ask it via text. You can ask it via email. Remember, you just have to touch your clients, right? You just have to reach out and let them know you're there. But the most important thing you can do is ask them questions. And asking them good, intriguing questions is even more valuable, right? Instead of, how are you feeling? How much weight did you lose? Right? I feel good and I lost 2 pounds. Versus, how are you sleeping? You know, how many hours of sleep are you getting? What do you like about the program so far? You know, how do you find yourself, you know, in the future staying healthy? Asking them questions that lead them forward, that ask them about visualizing where they want to go. What are you going to do when you reach this weight? What are you going to, you know, what's the first thing you're going to do? And a lot of these questions are in file folder 2 and 3, right? So there's also this document. I'm going to have to screen share one more time. Let's see, I'm down to a few minutes here. I could do this. There's this document called Effective Questioning that it is in our back office, okay? And I am going to give you guys a brief, quick introduction how you get there. Everybody has seen this before. Can you guys see my office in motion? You go under Resources. You go under Document Library right here. You go under Search by Category, scroll all the way to the bottom, and it says Training Support, and you click on that, and you click Go, and then here you have Calling and Presenting, Creating Your 1-minute Story, Effective Questioning, and you hit Download. Okay? That's how you get that document. Okay? Was there a question on that? Not yet. Let me wait for questions. So those are the questions are there. They're also in file folder 2 and 3. And what I recommend is get those in your head. Remember those questions. Get really good at asking questions. Because when you ask a question, what does the person want to do?
Ask you a question.
No.
No? They want to answer themselves.
They want to answer it. Right? A question seeks a resolution. So when you ask good questions, you're putting your clients in a position to think about something. But it comes from you, the coach. That's how you move people forward, right? So when I have somebody who's waning and ready to fall off program, and I say, well, why do you want to do that? Oh, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of that. Well, you know, remember let's go back to your why, you know, and let's talk about why you wanted to get healthy to begin with, and what could we do to at least keep you going? Maybe you don't go in the weight loss phase. Maybe you transition to maintenance for a little while, and then we get going further, right? A good coach can be like that and wiggle them instead of like not knowing what to say when they're ready to quit. And then you just go, okay, I don't know what to do. It's, well, what can we do to keep you moving forward? You know, and remembering why they wanted to get healthy to begin with, right? That's the understanding their why part. And that's why if their reason is, I want to feel better, in 2 months, they're going to want to yo-yo back, right? Because they're going to be on the oscillating pattern. Some really good reasons to getting healthy. I want to be there for my kids. It's affecting my work, right? I want to stay alive, you know, or things like that are stronger anchors. What do they want to do with their passion? Passion's a stronger anchor than feel better and stuff. And so you want to meet them where they are but it's really important to get that arsenal of questions for you. And does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. And I'm going to say this last thing that is tie it in, and then you guys could have a question for what if you can't get them to talk to you, Stacy? That's a communication thing that we have to work on, right, with you, is how to communicate with them, you know, to get them to feel that there's value, okay? But we could talk about that on a side note. That'd be a personal call. So the last thing I want to say, and Greg's thing starts, is when we're promoting this program and we're promoting it to people, really promote the weight loss phase of it, unless they need maintenance. But really just share with them, you know, like we grew so much faster when we were focused on weight loss for a lot of people. And once we got into habits of health and we tried to promote that before we promoted weight loss, we lost a lot of people. So promote how fast people can get healthy and before and after pictures, and just show them how great it is. And then slowly when you coach them on the habits of health and maintenance. Coach them how they're going to keep it off. But don't promote how they're going to keep it off before they've even lost it. I think we kind of got sidetracked and we started seeing growth slowing because we were kind of giving them too much at once. So it is 6 o'clock. I will answer a couple questions if you have. Otherwise, I do encourage you guys all to get on Greg's webinar. He's a master trainer, and you listen to him right now, and he'll teach you how do you find clients, how do you set up 3-ways and all that stuff. And even for those of you who already have clients, if you have time, it's going to be great training for you if you get a new coach or, you know, just thinking about the process itself. So I want to thank all of you for coming on. If you have any questions, I'll stay on for a couple of minutes if you wanted to chat. I do have a couple of minutes, but I didn't want to keep you if you wanted to get on to Greg.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
Craig posted something today on the theme you were just sharing. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't.
Did you see it?
No.
No. Okay, so I'll read. Can I read it to you super fast?
Sure.
Imagine spending a bunch of time dreaming about building your dream house, and you do all the work to build it. You move in, and then you only live in it for a short time. Crazy, right? This is what I see people do with the house that they really live in, their bodies.
Right.
Love that analogy.
It's true, right? They move in and try to get healthy. Hi, Alana. They move in, they try to get healthy, and then all of a sudden they move back out, right? Back into the
Right. So all the time is spent building the house without the thought of how am I now going to live in this new house. And
right.
First we focus on weight loss. Let's focus on building the house, and then let's help give them the tools to live there.
Exactly. Focus on weight loss, and then on the maintenance phases. And I'm like a lot of you know here, I'm a huge fan in teaching the barriers to getting healthy, right? Because I think those are the most foundational things that we have. Like, how do you compare us to Jenny Craig and everybody else? I don't know. These are the barriers that you're up against, and we solve them. Like, it allows me to cut right to the point, you know, and not even go through. It's a different presentation, you know, but it's getting people to realize that, you know, how are you going to get healthy if you can't solve these barriers? And then, you know, and that brings them to the coaching. It brings them to the psychological barrier. It gives us so much leverage, right? Psychological barrier, we can always bring that back up. Remember, this is a barrier. You know, you're stress eating, or now all of a sudden you're focused on something else. That's a barrier.
Do you have a script on the, or you just kind of ad lib?
The barriers?
Yeah. With the, you know, you're saying it's a whole new presentation.
Well, I ad lib it because,
Okay.
but I just, as long as you know what the barriers are, you can easily ad lib it. But we're going to be building a, Mama's here? We're going to be building a presentation on it, though.
Okay.
Actually, my wife and I are going to be, she's from the medical side, and I'm going to come in from my side, and we're going to build a presentation on what prevents people from getting healthy.
Terrific.
We're going to focus on the barriers, and then we'll put in our program and how we solve those barriers. They could try it any way they want. This is what we found to be the most effective.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we're going to use that as a platform, you know, to build. And one of the things that we found is that when you explain the barriers to people and you build what I call a bridge where they agree that this is the barrier, like when they see it, that eating every 3 hours is very difficult. They don't have time to do it. They don't want to spend so much time on doing that. And so they don't. 80% of the people do not do it. That's what the studies show. So they get hungry and then they overeat. How many of you have been in that pattern prior to doing this program?
Oh.
You know? And when you think about it, see, each one of us had the same problem as everybody else. But what we figured out was, Take Shape for Life came along and helped us actually solve that barrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so realizing that that's the foundation, is that barrier, is eating every 3 hours. It doesn't matter what system you want to do. You want to lose weight, you need different nutrition. You know, that's why we have the powerful nutrition piece, the protein and the fiber, and help people get to a healthy weight and transition them to long-term. If they don't eat every 3 hours, they're never going to keep their weight off, right? That's part of Be Slim. Be Slim is the acronym to keep your weight off for the rest of your life. So I teach your clients what Be Slim means. Teach your clients these barriers so they know how real they are. You need buy-in from them for them to be bought in, right? You can't move forward unless they haven't bought in yet. And you want to show how we solve those problems. Our attempt to solve the psychological barrier is the coach and the habits of health, right? Mm-hmm. Going to the doctor's calls, the nurse's calls, using the habits of health system, using Dr. A, and then the coach getting really good at learning how to ask good questions, like we talked about tonight, helps them solve their own barriers, right? Helps them move forward from stress eating, boredom eating, whatever's blocking them. How many people here know people who sabotage themselves? Right?
I have a couple myself.
I do.
One of them is working at Whataburger, and she's the manager, and she gets free food all day long, and she's just not able to resist it.
Exactly. So
at Whataburger.
It's, I'm guilty of sabotaging myself as well. So we have to realize what we're up against, right, as humans, and then realize that the barriers are monumental. The guy Danzinger called them monumental barriers. It's in the, I can send you guys the study if you want to see it. It's a Journal of American Medical Association study, JAMA. And he called them the psychological and the logistical barriers. If you can solve those, people can get healthy in months. And have we proven that our program can get people healthy in months? Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, there's nothing like what we have, mm-hmm. That can help people solve it. Everything else, if they don't solve those barriers, the eating every 3 hours and support, everything else is going to be a failed attempt. It's going to be a weight loss, and then they're going to go back to their old place, mm-hmm. because that's the oscillating pattern. Because they're not really changing the underlying structure of their eating. They're just changing their behavior for a short period of time. And when that ends, they go right back to where they were. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be building that. You'll hear more about that in the future. And the key is to just familiarize yourself with them. If you want to learn how to share them and how to talk about them, send me an email and let me know you'd like some personal coaching on how to actually say those barriers and what to talk about. And I'd be happy to do that.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a quick comment about the maintenance bars. They do have maltitol in them, and which is a sugar alcohol, which can cause gas and diarrhea. And I know that, but it is low on the list, so maybe it's not as much as some of our other bars.
Yeah, that's not an artificial ingredient, but yes, there is sugar alcohol in there. Mm-hmm. To help with the flavor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any comments or questions? Are you just saying goodbye? Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys all for joining, and we'll see you guys soon. And send me an email if you want some more information. I'll send this recording out a little bit later, tomorrow or the next day, so you guys can review it. But if anything tonight you want some private coaching on, feel free to reach out to me personally or through your channel. All right, guys?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Take care. Good to see you all. Bye.